Welcome back to Mind Vibes, the gym for your personal growth. We are proud of you that you're trying to become the best version of yourself by watching our videos. With us, you will be more motivated, more proud of yourself, and you will be hungrier to achieve your goals. Stay with us and let's start with the video of today. Mind Vibes. Jordan Peterson argues that happiness is a useless goal. Instead, we must seek meaning as an antidote to the chaos of our age. Peterson compares chaos and order to yin and yang. To keep our lives in perfect balance, we must deal with the inevitable chaos and order. The best way to find order is to search for meaning. This search for meaning should not be an end in itself, but as a defense against the suffering inherent in our existence. When one experiences the suffering, one can withdraw or face it. Retreating will allow the darkness we all possess to overwhelm us. Facing it will help us challenge these dark impulses and adjust our goals. Peterson explains to us with 12 rules how to face our fears and achieve our goals. To understand better, keep watching this video. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Rule number 1. Stand straight with your shoulders back. The body and the mind are deeply connected, so prepare yourself for success by exercising the right body language. Stand straight with your shoulders back for 2 powerful reasons. 1. Exercise dominance and trust. 2. Also show that you accept responsibility. Research has shown that physical stature, even a small muscle movement, can affect your emotions. It is difficult to accept responsibility for one's actions when slouching or lying on the floor. Standing upright with your shoulders back and your feet shoulder-width apart exudes confidence and a willingness to take meaningful action. Rule number 2. Treat yourself as someone you have a responsibility to help. Peterson encourages people to credit themselves and those around them for acting productively and with care. It also credits patients for showing genuine and caring concern for others. They can express their emotions because they are simply themselves. When you are a patient, you simply accept that you are a patient. Don't try to be someone else. The lesson to be learned from the patient approach is to respect yourself and know that you are worthy of help. You are as important to others as you are to yourself. You have a vital role to play in the fate of the world. Consequently, you are morally obligated to take care of yourself. You should take care, help, and be charitable to yourself. You will act towards yourself in the same way that you would care, help, and be dutiful towards someone you love and appreciate. As part of taking care of yourself, you need to determine where you'll be dealing with so that you don't end up resentful, vengeful, and cruel. You need to articulate your principles for 2 reasons. So that you can defend yourself from others who take advantage of you, to keep you safe and protect you while you work and play. When you take care of yourself, you're able to start building meaning in your life. Don't underestimate the power of your vision and direction. They are irresistible forces. They can turn obstacles into open paths and expand opportunities. Rule number 3. Make friends with people who want the best for you. Your friends have a significant impact on how you behave. Their sayings and manners often influence you. This means they can also negatively affect you through toxic habits. But if you surround yourself with people who support your upward goal, they won't tolerate your cynicism and destructiveness. Instead, they will encourage when you do good for yourself and others, and they will carefully punish you when you don't. This encouragement will help strengthen your resolve. People who don't aim high will do the opposite. Peterson explains that managers often put underachievers in group projects with high performers. Their goal is to evaluate underachievers to the high level of their peers. But research suggests the opposite effect is more common. High performers are likely to be dragged down to their underachiever level. So, make an effort to surround yourself with good people. Look beyond superficial characteristics such as sense of style or socioeconomic status and identify who will help you create positive change. It takes strength and courage to stand next to brilliant people like these because you may feel inferior. Have some humility and courage so that you can grow as an individual. Number 4. Compare who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. Once you are an adult, you are a singular being, so be cautious about comparing yourself to others. You have your own particular finance, intimate, and psychological problems. These are placed in the unique and larger context of your existence. Your career or job either works or doesn't work for your personality. If it does, It does so in a unique interaction with the other specifics of your life. As you find your being, you must decide how much time to dedicate to your career and to how much other parts of your life. You also need to decide what to let go and what to pursue. These decisions require careful observation, education, reflection, and communication with others. Essentially, by doing this, you are scratching the surface of your beliefs. This helps you make decisions without feeling overwhelmed by your problems. Avoid comparing yourself to others. We all have an innate need to confront other people. Your brain will release a hormone called serotonin when you notice that you are more skilled than others. When you have serotonin in your blood, you feel confident and in control of your life. But your brain limits serotonin when someone threatens your status in society and makes you seem incompetent. Thus, you will begin to doubt yourself and experience a low sense of self-worth. You are now connected to billions of people online. This means that it doesn't take long for your brain to notice how you compare to other people. When you're exposed to so many better people, you are more prone to lose hope. You will stop acting and let your life slip into chaos. The best way to prevent this from happening is to stop comparing yourself to who someone else is today. Instead, start comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. Rule number 5. Don't let your kids do anything that makes them dislike. Parents need to treat their children in a way that prepares them for the real world. For Peterson, this means making sure they can function well in society by inculcating the proper rules. When parents ignore this, their children risk being rejected by society in many painful ways. This may seem like a high-pressure challenge because our children are whiteboards that will impact future generations. Deciding what to write on these whiteboards can be crippling. Peterson first encourages readers to accept the innate aggression found in humans. This is why almost everyone has a history of bullying as a child. To overcome this aggression, the author believes that your primary concern should be raising kind children. This doesn't mean you should become your child's best friend. This would prevent you from forcing the rules necessary for your child to become a better person. Peterson provides the following examples of effective rules to establish. Never use violence except in self-defense. Show others kindness and respect. Peterson also recommends avoiding superficial rules such as, you must always be in bed by 7 p.m. You should never have mismatched socks. In addition to establishing rules that guide their children toward a better future, parents must also learn to help their children overcome failure and pain. These experiences are inevitable and should be used as a learning experience. Raising children who have a passion to change the world, and to create children who seek to improve themselves so that they are better equipped to change the world. Rule number 6. Get your house in perfect order before criticizing the world. Before complaining about the world or your situation, you need to start small and consider your circumstances. Have you taken full advantage of the opportunities that have been offered to you? Are you working hard for your career? Or are you letting bitterness and resentment hold you back and drag you down? Have you made peace with your brother? Are you treating your spouse and children with dignity and respect? Do you have habits that are destroying your health and well-being? Have a little humility. If you are unable to bring peace to your home, then you are not equipped to run a city. Let yourself be guided by your soul. Then see what happens in the days and weeks after you clean up your home. When you are at work, you will begin to say what you think. You will begin to tell your wife, husband, children, or parents what you want and need. When you know that you have left something pending, you will take action to correct it. Your head will begin to clear when you stop filling it with lies that all is well. Your experience will improve when you stop distorting it with inauthentic actions that don't address the problems you have at home. Rule number 7. Pursue what's meaningful, not what's convenient. Peterson uses the term gimmick to describe putting off activities we know we need in order to seek short-term gratification instead. We do this because life is full of suffering, but there is more to life than just suffering, so try to enjoy life as much as possible by pursuing something meaningful. Pursuing meaning will help you be a better and happier person while also helping you cope with suffering. You can start doing this by seeking sacrifice rather than instant gratification. This sacrifice must be for the benefit of others rather than for one's own benefit. For example, Peterson doesn't see it as a sacrifice to work long hours to earn a promotion, because your actions are still motivated by a positive result for yourself. Peterson explains that these small positive impacts will help you grow like a lotus flower. These flowers start at the bottom of a muddy lake and grow slowly. Eventually, the lotus flowers burst beautifully in the sunlight. Here's how sacrificing for the sake of others can make your life so much more fulfilling in the future. Rule number 8. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. You can use words to manipulate the world and get what you want. This includes both lying to others and lying to oneself. But this approach is driven by an ill-formed desire that does not consider the negative impact. Suppose you pay close attention to what you do and say. In this case, you can learn to feel a state of internal division and weakness when you misbehave and talk badly. This is an embodied sensation, not a thought. But if you blindly and voluntarily bend everything towards one goal, you will never find out if another goal would serve you better. By continuing to live according to the truth, you will have to accept and deal with the conflicts that this way of being will generate. If you do, you will continue to mature and become more responsible in small and large ways. You will approach your formulated goals more wisely and become even wiser as you discover and correct your inevitable mistakes. Rule number 9. Assume that the person you are listening to may know something you don't know. Listening rather than judging. A person who listens can reflect the crowd. He can do it without speaking. Let the speaker listen to himself. This is what Freud recommended. Freud made his patients lie down on a sofa, looked at the ceiling, let their minds wander, and said everything that passed. This is his method of free association. Freudian psychoanalysts use this method to avoid transferring their prejudices and opinions into the patient's internal landscape. But if you listen without premature judgment, people will generally tell you everything they think and with little deception. People will tell you the most surprising, absurd, and intriguing details. Few of your conversations will be boring. What you know now is not enough. Your life isn't perfect. What you know isn't enough. You remain threatened by illness, self-deception, unhappiness, malevolence, betrayal, corruption, pain, and limitation. You are subject to all these factors because you are too ignorant to protect yourself. If you knew enough, you could be healthier and more honest. You would suffer less. You may recognize, resist, and even triumph over malice and evil. You would not cheat on a friend or deal in a false and deceptive way in business, politics, or love. Your present knowledge has not made you perfect, nor has it kept you safe. Hence, it is insufficient. For this reason, the priestess of the Oracle of Delphi in ancient Greece spoke very highly of Socrates. Socrates has always sought the truth. He described him as the wisest living man because he knew that what he knew was nothing. So, suppose the person you are listening to may know something that you don't know. Rule number 10. Be specific in your speech. When we have a problem, we are often tempted to cover it up or hope the problem will go away on its own. It is easier to keep the peace and avoid the anxiety, despair, and sadness that are associated with confronting problems. It's easier to pretend the problem doesn't exist than to admit it exists and accept the pain. But this is not an effective solution. So, whenever you plan to achieve something, you need to be explicit and precise in your goals. Unclear goals can create unclear actions, which can then create unclear results. If you have a vague discomfort, you will struggle with it until you explicitly define it and give it a concrete form. Once you have precisely identified the problem, you will probably realize that you are much more scared than you should have been. You now have a specific goal to confront, and the specificity allows you to start challenging the chaos. Rule number 11. Don't disturb children when they skate. Peterson believes parenting affects how children react to danger in the future. Parents often encourage their children to do something safer than skateboarding or rock climbing. The author believes that taking children away from these activities means they will struggle to cope with the dangers of the adult world. Peterson also considers equality in this chapter. He believes there is a growing desire for gender equality in modern society. Hence, it emphasizes the difference between equality of opportunity and equality of outcome. When gender equality means equal opportunities, rights, and treatment, that's good. Rule number 12. Pet a cat when you meet him on the street. Peterson admits it's easy to focus on the bad parts of life. After all, some examples of suffering can seem completely overwhelming. Use the example of your daughter's lifelong struggle with severe arthritis. The easy option with these crises is to become nihilistic or negative about everything. The reality is that this approach can often be worse than the initial pain. To counter potential nihilism, pay close attention to the love and beauty around you. This could be a sunset, some flowers, or just petting a cat. Dwell on these moments when you can to increase their impact. Life is too short to suffer. Now, let's summarize everything. We are constantly looking for happiness without the foundation necessary to be happy. Peterson believes this foundation comes from meaning. This meaning must come from within and not from others. Once you have your home in order, you can start making a positive impact on the lives of others. To pursue a life of meaning, Peterson offers 12 rules for life. Stand straight with your shoulders back. Treat yourself as if you are someone you have a responsibility to help. Make friends with people who want the best for you. Confront who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. Don't let your children do anything that makes them unpleasant. Tidy up your home before you criticize the world. Pursue what's meaningful, not what's convenient. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Suppose the person you are listening to may know something that you do not know. Be specific in your speech. Do not disturb children when they skateboard. Pat a cat when you meet one on the street. Did you like this video? Let me know in the comments if you will be putting any of these rules into practice. See you in the next video.